I'm on mute. My bad. I disregard what you hear behind me. The child is saying that he's not a baby.
I am 20. I am no child.
You my child. Listen, that ain't gonna work. We gotta figure this out. We ain't got no blankets that we can. I just need to cover up so the people can see me. This is really, huh? I can't hear you now.
So your green screen background, virtual background don't work.
My because it's so lights behind me, it blurs me
Okay.
completely out. So
Oh, okay.
trying to set something up to block it out, and I don't know if this gonna work. Um, but he's trying to block out the light. I don't have curtains in my room. I have blinds, and so when it's light outside, you can see through the lights. Um, so it's a problem. I'm gonna hopefully he can set it up, and maybe I can do it.
Aren't even going in the wall.
Okay, well don't worry about it, Josh. We're just gonna deal with it the way we can.
Try to tilt. Yeah.
That's what I'm doing. This sucks. Cause it's still bright. Okay, hey, how y'all doing? This is your girl Big Skia's Faith. I got Wendy with me today. And this is the Signs Up. Thank you guys for joining. We be having difficulties of all types. So we are going to talk about we're going to talk about the housewives people. We're going to do our little reality and y'all, shout out to Respect the Haven. I am the board president of the board of directors for Respect the Haven. So I decided to wear my Respect the Haven shirt today from the bed.
And so, I am wearing my Herpreneur Network shirt. I am part of the Herpreneur Christian Women in Business Network. So I'm representing them today.
Yes. So make sure y'all, we do have Respect the Haven shirts for sale. Make sure y'all go over to Respect the Haven cdc.org. Y'all can get your t-shirts there, or inbox Respect the Haven on Facebook, and we'll get you set up with a t-shirt. So make sure y'all get in on these sales, man. Okay. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna start off with reality. We have a little bit of reality. I'm tired of talking about the house. Oh, that ain't gonna work neither, Jesus. I'm trying to work this out because it's bothering me. It's bothering me, Lord. It's bothering me. I'm getting curtains for my room. I have decided this at this moment. I'm getting curtains. Okay. So, Real Housewives of Potomac, they have activated Sister Karen. They activated Karen.
So we're gonna talk about that tomorrow since we're talking about shows, or we're gonna do that now?
I'm just doing reality. That's all I'm doing right now. Okay. They have activated Karen over at the Real Housewives of Potomac. But the bigger issue is, and we did kind of briefly go over this last week. The Robin and Juan, the word on the curb is they will not be back for next season. That is the word on the curb. We don't know if that has been confirmed or not. The word on the street is that they won't be back for next season because of this Copen State lawsuit. The other thing is, y'all could have been married by now, justice of the peace at this point, and y'all ain't. That's bothering me. And so Robin is going to be super messy with this Karen situation. It's a clip that I saw, and we can break down the episode tomorrow on its own. But it was quite interesting how she's just adding to the mess that is already Giselle. I cannot wait on this reunion because I think the reunion is going to be lit. Okay. I believe it's gonna be lit. Jacqueline definitely needs to be at the reunion. I don't care what nobody said. This, hold on, might be getting this right here because that's bothering me. That light, that reflection of the light is bothering me. Um, I think it's gonna be lit, and I think Jacqueline definitely needs to be there. Jen Shah, we talked about her being sentenced to 6.5 years. Everybody on the cast, well, maybe not Meredith and Heather Gay, um, but for the most part, everybody on the cast is kind of like, well, she's fraudulent. She did it, and she did. Jen did. Jen did it. She did it. It's proof. Stewart turned on her, which that's what I thought happened when he pled guilty. I said Stewart is gonna turn on her. Uh, I said it. I said it. Um, but there were a ton of employees that also turned against Jen Shaw as well, because it wasn't just Stewart's word against Jen's. It was a lot. They had when they went over the witness list and what the statements were, because they, in discovery, that's when they're able to go through that. And I did not know that Sharif, I did not know that her husband was an attorney.
Mm-hmm. When I heard that, I was like, man, I love Kempire. Kempire be talking about all of that.
Well, Kempire talked about it, but on the episode, they mentioned Heather said that he was. So there are two attorneys that are on the cast. Uh, uh, Jen Shaw's husband is by trade is an attorney turned football coach, and then Meredith is also an attorney. They both went to law school, so they have their JDs, right? So, but Meredith is, her husband does his sales thing, and she has her jewelry store, and it is what it is. So I don't know if Meredith is a practicing attorney, but yes. So with that being said, Heather mentioned it. When I went, they were really engulfed in the paperwork. She was just breaking it down to Meredith what happened, and then she met with Lisa and broke down what happened with Lisa when she went. And that's when I learned. And then when Kempire did his review of the show, that's when I learned that Sharif was an attorney. And so learned that he was an attorney. And I was like, wow. So here is the question that everybody, the $1 million question that everybody wants to know.
Did he know about it?
Did he know? And when did he know? Or did he know and just was like, hey, bro, don't get caught? So this is what I'm going to say, because I don't believe that. I'm going to go to Tom Girardi and Erica Jane.
Because you remember I said something about that. You remember how when this thing with Jen Shaw first happened,
right?
And I'm like, oh, so they're not going after him the way they're going after Erica Jane. And you was like, well, they're like, well, he probably didn't know nothing about it. I'm like, if you're married to somebody, you know.
Yeah. Well, let me also say this, because I'm going to say this, because now looking at Tom's situation and Erica's situation, Tom did his dirt at his job. Now, right. Erica benefited from it directly, right?
Right.
But Tom did all his stuff at his job. So my argument is still going to be, I don't know that what Sharif knew and when Sharif knew it. Do I think Sharif probably knew what was going on? I think he found out when he started delving into this case. That's what I believe. I believe once he started looking at these accounts and reading this stuff, and this didn't just happen yesterday. I think during the court proceedings, I think since Jen got locked up, I think Sharif knew. At least since Jen got locked up. The reason why I say I'm not so sure is because he's been gone. You gotta understand, he wasn't I don't know where he was the football coach yet. Okay. Now here's my thing. I'm gonna question how we got what we got. But if my wife is telling me that this is legitimate and I don't understand the ins and outs of her business, really just think about it. How much work if I'm a kept person, if I'm kept, Teresa Giudice, they say Judice, it's Giudice.
Judice.
I'm sorry.
No. Judice.
Yeah. Okay. So, but they keep saying Judice, which is crazy to me. When Teresa got caught up with her husband, Teresa said, I signed paperwork. I didn't know what I was signing. Quite believable. What movie was that? With Cameron Diaz and it was Cameron Diaz.
The other woman.
That movie, her husband told her what he needed her to hear to get her to sign those documents in that paperwork, right? Mm-hmm. I think that was the situation that Teresa was in, because Teresa didn't know. Teresa was at the house with the kids, right? And on this housewife show.
And that's probably why she got the sentence that she got.
That is why she got the sentence that she got. Because she didn't know what was going on. And I really hate that she got the sentence that she got because she didn't know what she was doing. But of course, according to the law, ignorance does not keep you out of jail. There are a lot of ignorant people sitting in jail right now. So, right. So, I don't know how much Sharif knew because Sharif wasn't at home a whole lot either. You got to think about the fact that he's a football coach. They got the football season, and just because the football season is over don't mean their job is over, because now you have to recruit and get ready for the next season. So he was not at home a lot. And she talked about that, the last couple of seasons, over the pandemic, they were going to get a divorce because she don't know how to talk to people. And not only does she not know how to talk to people and know how to deal with people, know how to treat people, but he also was not at home. He was not at home because this was probably the most he had been home during the pandemic ever, right? Prior to that, he was always gone. And that whole first season, her gripe and complaint was Sharif was never at home. He was never at home. She had all kinds of parties, did all kinds of stuff. She did exactly what she wanted to do. And that man was not at the house. So that's why I say I'm not 100% sure that he knew. I think he knew, but I think he found out when it was too late. That's what I believe. Which is quite possibly could be true. How much did Erica Jane know? If Tom didn't bring work home, I don't think Erica knew either, because Erica was a kept lady. Erica didn't work.
Erica knew.
You think Erica knew? Erica was a kept lady. Erica was.
I understand that, but she had to know where most of where some of that stuff that he was funding, where it was coming from settlements.
From settlements. I'm an attorney, so if I get a settlement out of court and I get the money from the settlement, yeah.
So right, so you're not getting what I'm saying. So she's acting like, well, he's giving me this, he's giving me that. Think about where the money was coming from, honey. You know what I'm saying? She was talking about, well, this was a present from me. He gave this to me. He gave this to me. Blah 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 blah.
You know what? So let me go here. Let me go here. Maybe he gave her the amount of money that he gave her, maybe to hide some of his money.
That's true.
If they had separate accounts, and she had her account and he had his, and maybe he gave her more than he normally would give her, maybe to hide what he was doing or to mask that.
So if that was true,
if that was true, but here's the other thing too: you don't always have all the details, though. Again, if I'm not an attorney, what did Erica
Okay.
Jane do before they got? Just answer
Let
me
me,
this.
let,
What did
mhm.
Erica Jane do before she got with Tom?
Um, I don't know. All
Probably
I know,
nothing.
I think she said something about she was a go-go dancer. I know she was a go-go dancer starting off in
Okay,
New
so
York.
let's go here. Go dancer. This man is an attorney. He embezzling money from his clients. I don't know what he's doing at work. I have no clue. Now, keep in mind, I don't like Erica Jane. She is not my cup of tea, coffee, soda, beverage, none of that. I don't rock with her because especially this last season of Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, I really didn't like her, right? Um, but if I don't know, and if my husband is not telling me what he is doing at work, you know, a lot of white women get killed because their husbands done embezzle money from their company, and the white woman don't know what's going on. And you see what I'm saying? They might find out and then they die. You see what I'm saying? So I'm not.
Okay,
It, I
I'm
get where you
understanding
coming from.
everything where you're coming from, but my thing is this: the way she's been acting, like she's so, like, oh, but this is where he gave me this. You got to think where he's getting that money from. So how is he getting that money? So if that was me, if my husband was embezzling and was taking money and was gifting me all this kind of stuff, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna take it. I don't want none of this. If it has
What kind
this
of
blood money.
attorney? What kind of attorney was Tom?
He, you remember the movie Aaron Brockovich?
Yeah.
He was one of the main attorneys to get that settlement for PG&E.
So he does class action
Settlement.
lawsuits,
Right.
that sort of thing. They make a lot of money doing that. That's all I'm saying. Now, maybe her attitude is probably in the way she's acting, y'all. That's cause for a side eye. I'm always I don't know what you're doing when you go to work. Anybody who get married to me, just because I'm an insurance agent, they're not gonna automatically know the ins and outs of what I'm doing on my job. They're not gonna know. Now, if you ask questions, I think you a go-go dancer and this man that kept you a kept woman, you probably aren't gonna ask those questions. That's all I'm saying. And that's my argument for even with Sharif. I don't know that he knew. He probably knew later on when that girl got arrested. Them folk ain't not had no evidence against Jen. They did not have any evidence against Jen. I think Jen has been delusional during this whole process. Wait till we go to court. No, baby, you did this. You know what I'm saying? So, I don't know how much he knew, but with him being in a legally, you being able to look through the documents and paperwork because you have a law degree. I think he knew a whole lot sooner than they have portrayed it on TV. I think when she got arrested and he was like, listen, cut the ish. What happened? What's going on? I think he's been looking at those documents, those legal documents, the discovering the evidence. And I think he was like, so sis, I'm gonna take care of the kids, right? I'm gonna take, although they have an adult son, I'm gonna take care of our 16-year-old, and make sure he's straight till you get out of jail. So she said for 6.5 years, and then when she gets out of prison, it seems like she's gonna be committed into a mental hospital. Because you gotta be delusional to not, and everybody's like, so yeah, sis did this. And I believe that she knew exactly what she was doing. You've done it for so many years, I don't know. But at any rate, um, it looks like Heather, I think when they sentenced Jen in prison, Heather, I think, had unfollowed Whitney Rose on Instagram and social media. She followed her back. We'll see how that turns up too. I can't wait to see the Ultimate Girls Trip. Um, they've talked about it so much. I'm ready for them to go ahead and premiere. I don't know. Have you heard of any dates when they were going to air that, Wendy?
Mm-mm.
I can't wait to see it because Candace and Giselle are beefing. Portia and Candace get into it, but they've made up since because they've done some lives together. And then and then of course Heather and Whitney are on this trip too, and they are not in the best of places. So it's gonna be an interesting trip to see kind of how things go on this here trip. Um, and then somebody says the season 4 of the Ultimate Girls Trip is gonna be kind of like a repeat of last season. Like, why?
It's like the ex-wives again, because you got Phaedra's going coming back, Eva's going coming back, and I think Vicky and Brandy is coming back, and then they got some more people coming.
Why do they have a repeat? Did nobody else not want to go on the Ultimate Girls Trip?
I think what the direction that Bravo was going, and I'm not mad at it. The ones, because they're gonna bring in back Alex McCoy, and she was on the first, I want to say the first 4 seasons of the New York Housewives. Her
Mhm.
husband is weird. Okay, her
Oh,
husband dynamic is very weird, but she's after the Housewives, she's her and her husband moved to Australia, so that's where she was living. But they're bringing her back, and I'm thinking what they're trying to do is trying to bring back the women that are no longer on any of the Housewives shows, so we can see what's going on in their lives. So I'm here for it. I'm here for it.
I don't know that I care. So then that may mean that we don't have that many black housewives. That's gonna be former on here, so we might be getting some repeats, which I think is unfair. Um,
I want them to at least bring Nene. Nene will make some good TV if they don't want to bring
I
her
don't
back
think they
yet.
will. And so that and I want them to, because Nene, again, I am a fan of Nene. Nene is the housewife in charge. In my opinion, she set the standard for housewives. You know what I'm saying? Um, and I understand that she brought the lawsuit against Bravo. I totally completely understand it. I get it. I know that's a issue for Bravo. I know that that's an issue that they can't get past or they can't get over, whatever that situation or that issue is. So I get that. Definitely understand and get that.
But if you want, I'm just saying, as a money, if you're thinking for money and ratings, you
but
need to bring
but
her
the
back.
ratings of the Atlanta Housewives have not improved. They have not had good ratings over the since Nene left the show. They have
Right, that's what
not
I'm
had
saying.
good ratings.
They need to
So,
bring her back to get. They need to bring Nene back onto something
but
because
this is
she's for
this
good.
the point. So this the point I'm making. The point I'm making is that if they ain't brought her back to Housewives, I don't think they're gonna bring her on the Ultimate Girls Trip either. Just my thought process, because this word on the street is they bringing somebody back over at Beverly Hills that was previously there. You know,
I think it's either Taylor. Taylor was on the ex-wives trip. She was the skinny girl.
mm-hmm.
Um, so they're bringing Taylor back, and then on the OC, Tamra Judge and I think Vicky is coming back.
Right. So here's my thing. they I'm seeing all these opportunities for everybody else. Nene's not in the conversation. And I think because Andy is in his feelings, because again, some things came out that were true of your network, right? Those things that came out because you've admitted to some of those things. It wasn't it you didn't deny the stuff that was happening. and they're still they still haven't settled the case. That's the other thing. They're still dealing with the settlement portion of it, if I'm not mistaken. Now, according to Nene, they're still going through. So until they get through with that court situation, Nene ain't coming back to Bravo. She need to come back, but Nene ain't coming back to Bravo until they get this straight. Because they don't have that settled yet. It's not straight. So that's the thing. There's that. It would be nice, but like I said, even if you brought Nene back, and you still have multiple seasons of this Ultimate Girls Trip, it ain't enough former Black housewives to put on. You're gonna be doing a rinse and repeat with those, if that makes sense. Because there are so many other franchises, right? They have white, people on it. We got Katie, technically Sharice, because she's just a friend of the show now on Housewives of Potomac. And Monique from Potomac. Housewives of Atlanta, you got Lisa Wu, you got Deshaun Snow. You have Shamari, you got Claudia, you have what's the other baby's name that's on House of Pain? She was on there for one season.
The House of Pain.
She's what's his name's wife on the House of Pain? Demetria. I can't think of her last name right now. She sings and she's an actress. And she was on the house. She's been on the House of Pain. She was the wife of not Calvin. Curtis, not Curtis. Curtis was the daddy, the nephew. She was the wife of the nephew. They had the two kids. They had Jazz and what's his name? Yeah, she was on the house. The same season Claudia was on there. The same season Claudia was, because she was dating Roger Bob. They were supposed to get married. They had been engaged for so many years. He ended up getting married to somebody else. She's married to somebody else now. But she
the one that played Janine?
That played Janine. Yes, ma'am. She's on the same season as Claudia. I ain't crazy because she was on that same, because they went to you done hit mute, so I don't know if you're talking to me or not. She went to,
I said, shut your mouth because I'm about to hit Hulu. Go ahead.
Go ahead. You hit Hulu. This same season Claudia was on there. She was a friend of, though.
Okay, a friend of, but not on there, but she's a friend. Okay,
but she was on there for multiple episodes. She was a more involved friend than any of the other. You know what I'm saying? She was on there for. I don't think she had a peach, but she was on there a whole lot. She was like she was in just as many episodes as LaToya was when she was on there. So LaToya, let me add her to the list. Who else? I don't think Kim Fields need to ever set foot on Bravo steps again. Kim Fields, you are better than Bravo. And not to say that anybody else, but Kim Fields, you a living legend. Don't do that. Don't go back to Bravo no more. But Kim Fields is another one. I think I hit all of the former housewives. You got Portia. But Portia's gonna be on this.
And you did say Kim, right?
Zodiac Bierman. I don't care to see Kim Zodiac Bierman on anything else on TV. Enjoy your husband's retirement salary from the NFL, because she's a no for me. I'm talking about Black housewives too. She's white, so they probably would put her on an Ultimate Girls Trip. She had that show about nothing for what, 8 seasons, 7, 8 seasons. I didn't know this stuff was still on TV. I was like, y'all, for real? They canceled. It was still on. So yeah, I don't care to see her on anything, but she would get an opportunity over Nene. I'm willing.
Oh, and Cynthia Bailey, but even though she's going to be a friend of. She can be on
She's
it
gonna be a
again.
friend of, yeah. And I like Cynthia as a friend of. That's why you left though, because you didn't want to be a friend of. You didn't leave because you thought your marriage was in trouble because you left and your marriage was in even more trouble than ever because you divorced or divorcing now. So I think that she, hey, let me just be a friend. I ain't gotta. I can give what Marlo has given this whole time she's been on TV, and I can go from there. So yeah. Um but Cynthia's already done an Ultimate Girls Trip too, because she and Kenya did theirs together on the first season.
See,
So
now that would be interesting because they kind of their friendship kind of you know hit it.
I've always thought that Kenya and Cynthia's friendship was kind of, I don't know. Cynthia tolerates a lot from Kenya. Um, she tolerates a lot
But
of stuff from Kenya,
but,
in my
but
opinion.
you know what tripped me out? How right Nene was. She was like, y'all don't know the real Cynthia.
Nah, y'all don't. Y'all don't know 50 Cent. Speaking of 50 Cent, let me get on over to that.
Mm-hmm.
50 Cent apologized to Megan Thee Stallion. Um, and he apologized because, let me tell you how problematic you guys are, and I need Drake and others to follow. Um, he heard the tape of Tory Lanez when he was talking to Kelsey on the phone, where he apologized for what happened. And
Mm-hmm.
he blamed being drunk. We blame being drunk is to why everything went down the way it did. And
Mm-hmm.
he discussed that. And 50 said when he heard the recording, he said, I owe Megan Thee Stallion an apology. Here's my issue with that though. And I'm glad that you apologize, but my issue is, for whatever reason, that girl had to tell y'all that she had sex with that boy on national TV for y'all to believe that the man shot her. That's out of order. I don't care. It's not our business whether or not she had sex, but it's a problem that this man shot her. And he has a
Mm-hmm.
history of violence. This ain't the first time he did something out the way. You know what I'm saying? It's
Mm-hmm.
crazy. So I need him to go to jail, be deported, whatever needs to happen. But I also need the culture. Joe Budden had to apologize too when the guilty plea came through. But it's problematic. I don't have to tell you who I slept with in order for you to believe that this person committed a crime against me. That's crazy than a mug. And
Mm-hmm.
and she got mental health issues behind this whole situation. Now, again, I'm gonna say I don't think she handled her friend properly. And I don't like that her friend traded on her, because at the end of the day, regardless, right is right and wrong is wrong. So you got on there, you went to the folk in September and told them everything that happened. You didn't mention the fight that happened between you and Megan. You also didn't mention that all of y'all jumped on Megan either. You didn't mention none of that. None of that was mentioned, right? You also didn't
Right.
mention, because the person who testified that don't have skin in the game at all said that a female shot at another female. So you also didn't mention that you shot at Megan either. And that's probably the real reason why you didn't shoot her. You didn't shoot her. You shot at her with the gun. You didn't mention those things, right? Megan didn't either. So Megan spared you. You wanted her to say that you didn't shoot, but she went on Instagram and said, "Hey, bro, Tori shot me because Tori and his people started it. If that man hadn't said nothing, we wouldn't have been having this conversation, and everybody would have been suffering in silence. But because Tory Lanez did what he did best, which was the gaslighting of Megan Thee Stallion, here we are. All the people, all the men in this situation has failed the women in this situation, and all of the men in the industry has failed this sister, and they need to apologize for talking out of, because you don't know, was she lying because she lied about having sex with him? What does that have to do with that man shooting her? That ain't
He
got nothing to
still
do with
shot her.
that.
He
He
still
shot her.
shot her.
So my issue with that, it's crazy. Um, but I do, because 50 Cent rarely apologizes for the things that he says and the things that he does. He's a really petty individual. So I appreciate him apologizing, but I think that we need to stop speaking on things before we have all the facts and before we learn of everything that's involved. Period. Um, this little boy, I don't know if you remember the Popeyes meme kid back in 2013. Um, it's a little boy, and I cannot pronounce his first name. I'm going to mispronounce this. D Ernest, D Ernest Collin. He has a NIL deal with the brand sponsorship with Pop for Popeyes. He is now stands at 6'1", um 6'1", 330 pounds. He and his football team in New Jersey's Lake Erie College Division 2 football, they won the state championship. So he was so they won the state championship. He got recruited to the college, Lake Erie College, and now he is a lineman, offensive lineman there. So he got an NIL deal with them. So shout out to Lil Colin. If y'all don't remember, it's the meme with the little heavy set kid holding a Popeyes cup in his hand. And I'm gonna get my slides back together next week. But he got that deal. So shout out to little homie. Or well, I might as well say big homie, because he bigger than us. But he got that NIL deal. So I'm very, very proud of him for that. Um so I don't I, the state of Tennessee seems to try to embarrass us. And what I like to say to people is, we claim Memphis, right? We're from Memphis, Tennessee. So geographically, we are from the state of Tennessee, right? But anybody from Memphis will tell you we are David Ruffin, and the rest of the state of Tennessee are the Temptations, right? So so with Laverne, Tennessee, right? Um, that Laverne, I don't know how many people are in their population or anything, but we do know that there's one cop that has been busting it wide open. Uh,
Man, busting it wide open is an understatement, man.
busting it wide open for the officers that she um worked with. So you got Megan Hall is her name. And she and five other officers, I'm sorry, she is among the five officers that were fired. Three other officers were suspended. So she was giving it to seven officers at the in her precinct. They were having sex in the police department, in the police gym. They had wild sex parties. And she also was
And
in a
some, yeah, I was gonna say, and some of them was like she was part of a threesome with one of her officers. You know, him and
his
his
wife.
wife.
Correct. Um, so it's crazy, and they have proof. I don't know if they got her on camera, but they definitely have proof of text messages, exchanges, that sort of thing. Um, of her. Now she's claiming that she is in an open relationship. Um,
Husband like, huh?
correct the moon though. Her husband's name is Jedediah, by the way. And I think he's a sheriff. Oh, this is even worse. He works for the sheriff's department. Um, Lord Jesus, his boss is saying that he is more of a man. He said, I don't know how he's doing. He's more of a man than I am, but he's trying to salvage his marriage. Oh my God. This is crazy. Baby, at this point, I need her to get an OnlyFans page and have a coke and a smile. Oh my goodness.
Mm-hmm.
Megan Hall, they said that she told her coworker she was in an open marriage. One of the coworkers said that Jedediah is the son of a pastor, was not on
That
board.
sounds like it's a son of a pastor.
He
Jedediah.
do. Jedediah sound like a pastor kid's name. I want you to know that right now. Oh my
That's
God.
part of it. That's in the Bible. That's a book of the Bible.
Jedediah?
So I think so. No. Hold on.
Jedediah is not a book in the Bible.
Or he was a person in the Bible.
He might have been a person in the Bible, but Jedediah is not a book of the Bible.
I'm getting Jedediah and Jeremiah mixed up. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Lord Jesus. So he had been training. Okay, he was in training with the highway patrol. He got the offer. They did offer him the job. Oh Lord God, this is crazy. Poor Jedediah. That's all I got to say.
But shoot, we don't know what Jedediah's been doing.
Well, Jedediah, where's the thing? People don't always, in this situation, little mama been doing this. She ain't new to this, she true to this. You know, the train, she let folk run trains on her. It's not my business what they did outside of work. That's not my business. Typically with jobs, you have morality clauses. I know on one job that I worked, they didn't want people to date. And it wasn't a rule. There was only a rule that you could not date people who were they reported to you. So that was the only thing. But if you were on the same level, it wasn't a problem. But they didn't like it. So we had a regional manager that did not like people dating on the job. So because they did not like us dating, 9 times out of 10 you could lose your job because of that. Which is crazy because just because of the preference, it could be fought. And I do know somebody who did fight it. They were found out. 2 people that were dating. They found out and they fired them because they were dating. But it was in retaliation to some claims that they made against the general manager on that position too. They ended up getting money from getting fired. Super crazy. So yeah, I do not know. They're also saying that Megan, I don't know what their morality clause is or how that works, but I feel like if that's what you want to do outside of the workplace, by all means, be the hoe of the town. But if you at the police precinct busting it wide open for the folk, and you doing it at work, I don't understand. I'm not saying that I don't get horny, right? I'm not saying it at all. But it's the fact that you decided to do this while you was on the clock. I've even heard of people cheating at work and they cheat on their lunch break, right? You got a wife or a girl or whatever, and you go meet up with your side piece or whatever in a hotel during lunch, on lunch break. Pretty crazy. And I'm not here to judge, but I think it's something wrong with the fact that you cannot wait till you get off work to go get a room at the Mosey Wozy to do your business. You know what I'm saying? So if she had only been doing this outside of work, I don't know that this would be a problem. Again, I'm not familiar with any morality clause that they may have, right?
Mm.
But if that's what you want to do outside of work, that's a situation between you and your husband, right? But
Mm-hmm.
the fact that I think the issue is the fact that they were doing it at work. And I'm wondering if, aside from, because they see the text messages and stuff, I'm wondering if somebody snitched on them that knew what was going on, or and let me, I'm willing to bet it was somebody who she went down to let run be a part of the train. I'm just gonna put that out there right now. But I'm also wondering if they actually caught them in the act doing what they were doing. You know, they had
But
some higher ups that were involved. They had some sergeants that were also involved as well that were not regular officers. So those are just some questions that I have. Like, how did y'all get caught? And
I
this
wonder if they had, recording videos,
I'm
in
wondering
the
that too, because you in a
in the.
police precinct, and in them little small towns, they like to record everything, right? They got all the latest technology for certain things. So
Mm,
you know, you can't be a podunk little town and have all the technology to catch the criminals, and you ain't got the technology to catch the folk who police us as well. That's just my thought process. So I'm wondering how that went about.
mm.
But they were able to get like text messages and all that stuff. Um, to kind of go from there. So that's pretty crazy. We are going to give a shout out to Shamar Moore. Shamar Moore is 50 some years old, 52. Is he 52?
50, 52.
52 years old, and he
These
is
old daddies.
every first time ever in life. He gonna be dang near 70 when this girl graduates from high school. uh is having a baby with his girlfriend. So he's welcoming a new life, and shout out, probably where most brothers would like to be, to have kids in their 50s, right? uh when it's time to settle down and actually do something. But definitely shout out to him. Congratulations to he and his girlfriend. They found out that they are having a girl, so he's gonna be a girl
Well,
dad.
they're not just finding out. They're about to drop. The baby due on February
They
8th.
did a but they did a gender reveal in the last couple of weeks. That's what I'm saying. They just found out they were having, not just found out she was pregnant. They did a gender reveal where he found out he was having a girl. This was just in the last couple of weeks.
I wonder if he's gonna name it after his mom.
That would be sweet. That would be nice. So shout out to Shamar Moore. Congrats, congrats, congrats. Wendy, you have anything else?
No, that's not all. Let me see. Let's see. See, did you mention Gangsta Boo? You mentioned Gangsta Boo on.
I started out with Gangsta Boo.
Okay, I thought you mentioned Gangsta Boo on TikTok.
Mm-mm.
Let me think. I don't know. What's nothing else that really happened?
It was, again, very, very slow week. Very, very slow week. All the commentary that I have discussed is also alleged. I'm sorry. I know I'm gonna have
Yes,
been. I
all
just
of it is alleged, and it's our
alleged,
opinion
alleged, alleged.
based
Um,
on opinion. So please,
based
we
on
have no money.
our So yeah, let me also put this out here, real quick before we get off. I saw something where Tasha K, who was a blogger, the blogger, if y'all don't follow, I stopped following Tasha K a long time ago. But if y'all are not familiar with who Tasha K is, she is the blogger that Cardi B successfully beat in court for spreading mistruths about her
Her.
health, um and accusing Cardi B of having STDs and giving people STDs and that sort of thing. And when she asked her to stop, she didn't stop, and so she owes Cardi B, I think, $4 million. And the judge awarded it to Cardi B, but she is yet to pay Cardi B.
Because
Well,
she probably don't got it.
she ain't got it. No, she don't. And so I follow a couple of people on TikTok that has a following. One of the young ladies that I follow on TikTok is called the Nosy Bystander. She has a YouTube page as well. Well, she was analyzing a interview that Tasha K did. Tasha K got in her comments and decided to threaten Nosy Bystander, um, which I thought was completely out of order because as long as you change, as long as you change, Courtney, as long as you change, you add to the commentary, as long as you do that, then you cannot, um, you can't, um, come and what's the word I'm looking for? Long as you add to the content, you're not taking the content, if that makes sense. You can analyze a video, right? Which is what a lot of her commentaries, she stitches certain things on TikTok. So on YouTube, she replayed the interview and analyzed the interview. So here's my issue with this. Tasha K got banned from YouTube. I think they've let her back on since, but since the Cardi B situation, she was taken off of YouTube. Because she was taken off of YouTube, my thing is if somebody is re-airing your video on YouTube, girl, you better be thankful, especially if they have a following. You shouldn't be on anybody in anybody's comments threatening them with I'm finna file a court case. Is it a money grab because you still owe Cardi B her money? Like, and of course Cardi, I don't know if
Somebody
Cardi
else did something like that.
what.
Somebody else did something like that. It was on a comment. Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
But here's my thing. You have a following. She has an app now, right? And she has her TikTok page and she shows snippets from the interviews that she does. You have your app and you're making money. People have to pay for that app. They have to pay $12.99 a month to do that app. So you're making your money, you're making your cheddar, you're making your change. So because you are making your money, my thing is, why bully somebody else who don't necessarily have if they got a following, they may not have the following that you had or once had, because I don't know how many people are subscribing to your app, right? Why bully another blogger? That doesn't make sense. Everybody's in it, they're doing their thing. It doesn't make sense. Why do that? Why? So just my thoughts behind
I
it.
do have one thing to add when you get done.
Go ahead.
Okay, we're going to say rest in peace to Lisa Marie Presley.
Yes.
She passed away. Was it Tuesday?
It was
because
it was two.
It was Tuesday.
Was it too? Because the Golden Globe.
It was 2 days.
When was the Golden Globe?
It was on Sunday, but it was Tuesday.
The Golden Globes was not on Sunday.
It was on Sunday.
The Golden Globes was on Sunday?
Yeah.
It was on Sunday?
Hold on, wait a minute. I thought the Golden Globes always come on Sunday.
They were not on Sunday. The Golden Globes, I think, was on Tuesday.
Or was it Monday?
It was Tuesday. January the 10th. Hold on.
That was
Tuesday. That was Tuesday. So Golden Globes aired on Tuesday. She went into cardiac arrest the next day. She died the day after. So she died Thursday.
Yeah. Wow. But it was cardiac arrest. And when they said that she had cardiac arrest, I was like, we had Hamlin who had cardiac arrest. Thank God. He's alive.
Oh my God. That's what I'm forgetting. Damar Hamlin is out of the hospital. They did show a picture of him with his teammates. He's up and running now. How soon he's going to be able to get back on the football field, if he's ever going to get back on the football field, that's yet to be determined. However, the NFL did decide to pay out his contract, so he won't be on the because they only pay a certain percentage of your contract when you go out, on leave, if you're on the injured list.
Right.
You don't get your money at that point, and it's a small percentage that they pay out. Well, they did decide to pay out his full contract, so he will still get his money. Now,
I
they
just
have
hope
not,
I
huh?
hope him and his family know how to manage that money.
Well, and I'm hoping that while he's been there, he's only been a player for like a couple of years now. He's not he doesn't have he's not like a veteran, right? He hadn't
Right.
been playing the game of football for very long professionally. And so I'm not sure um if he's been investing his money. I'm not sure how that's going for him. So hopefully he has other investments. If he graduated from college, hopefully it's something he could fall back on. Maybe even if he could get a commentary job. If football is not an option for him, we're not sure. They had not discussed the reason for his cardiac arrest at all. We just know that he went into cardiac arrest. He was resuscitated once from reports that I'm reading now,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm
Mm-hmm.
glad that he was able to walk out the hospital. That's what I meant, and I had it. It's in my hashtags, but I'm not looking at them. So yeah. So shout out to
Um.
Hamlin.
Yeah. But what I was about to say about Lisa Marie, she was the only daughter of Elvis Presley, and she
Right.
was the sole heir. She was the sole heir. So so now her daughters, she's survived by three daughters and of course her mom. And her son committed suicide, well, unalived himself back in 2020. And so her three daughters, especially I think it's the oldest one is the sole heir. And I think if something happens with the oldest daughter, then her twin daughters will be the co-heirs. I guess that's how it goes. But Priscilla Presley has no ties, no financial ties to Graceland or anything. All of that was Lisa Marie's,
Mm.
and it's
How
sad.
old
It
is
was
her
real
oldest
sad.
daughter?
Her oldest daughter is an adult, like in her 30s.
Okay. Yeah, you know what? When I read how many times Lisa had been married, I didn't know she had been married as many times as she's been married.
And she married, she's famous for marrying Michael Jackson and
Well, we
Nicolas
know that.
Cage.
Yeah.
Huh?
And Nicolas Cage, their marriage was real short. But she married like two or three more times after that.
Hmm. Let's
Wow.
see. Let's see. Let's see. Let's see. Let me see how old her oldest daughter is. Riley. Riley. How old are you, Riley? They're saying that she's 14. Hold on. Oh, okay, those are the twins. Hold on.
Um, I think those grandkids are gonna take care of their grandma though.
Yeah,
Because she took care of her mama. So I believe that they're gonna still take care of their grandma.
yeah. But okay, so hold on. Okay. So she was married to Danny Keogh, and that's the father of her
Oh,
first daughter.
she was married before Michael Jackson.
Uh-huh.
Lord.
Danny Keogh from 88 to 94. They
Okay.
married Michael Jackson 94 to 96. Nicolas Cage was 2002 to 2004. And then her last husband was Michael Lockwood, which is
He looks
2006 to
weird.
2021.
He was married
So,
for a long time. He looks like a strange bird. A
mhm.
very strange. Oh, he's a guitarist. Who he play
So
for?
she had two children in her first marriage and two children in her last marriage.
Interesting. Well,
Hmm.
R.I.P. To Lisa Marie.
It's sad. It's sad. It's sad when stuff like that happens.
Yeah, when her son died, I know that was heartbreaking. Um,
Hmm.
when he died, I definitely know that was heartbreaking for her. Um, but yeah, definitely R.I.P. Us being from Memphis, that's something. She
And she
definitely,
was just here on
yeah,
the age.
yeah, just here. I
That
saw
what would have been
was
her
at the
dad.
Golden Globes. She was at the Golden Globes. She and her mom. They were right there. They were at Austin Butler's table when he won, and we're gonna talk about the Golden Globes tomorrow. When he won for Elvis.
But
Um,
she kind of sounded a little off on the red carpet, though. She did.
I didn't look at her red carpet interview. Um,
They give me a lot of shit.
what?
Yeah. I love me some white queso. Some queso
Oh, I
dip.
love queso too. Queso's good.
Some authentic queso. Not
Yeah.
no. I'm gonna learn. I'm gonna make some. I'm gonna learn how to make some real good.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah,
Um.
RIP to
Yeah.
Lisa Marie.
Okay. Well, we will be back next week. Make sure in the meantime you guys subscribe to the Size Up Official Podcast over on YouTube. And make sure y'all follow that page. We are looking. Oh, we got some comments. Hold on. Oh, it's Paul. Who was her son's?
It was Brian Keogh, Danny Keogh. Danny Keogh fathered her son and as well as her oldest daughter
And then the twins were by the last husband.
by the last husband. The twins are 14, and I do believe the girl is in her 30s because if she was married from when she married, if she was married to the first husband from 88 to 94, the child is in her 30s,
Yeah. Yeah.
late
Oh,
20s, early 30s.
yeah.
So hey, ooh.
Yep. So yeah, make sure y'all join us. We will be back tomorrow night, though. The size will be back next week, but we'll be back tomorrow night with the episode of its own. We're gonna talk about the Golden Globes. We're gonna talk about Real Housewives of Potomac as well. And we'll mention some of the things that angered us this week about the circle, but we're gonna talk about the circle in its entirety after we watch the finale.
Man, and girl, I was like, why? I was like Florida Evans on what's the
I
show?
was
Big Time. Damn,
right.
damn.
I just don't understand. I don't. Y'all had the opportunity and y'all really screwed yourself out of a perfect opportunity. Um, but we're gonna talk about it. So make sure y'all are back here tomorrow night with us. What time?
Oh, what 7:30 ish? Cause I know I'm gonna be doing I'm gonna have a booth tomorrow at Crunch Fitness. I joined that gym, so
Uh-huh.
I'm gonna have a Mary Kay table. Might do a little workout. Might have the booth between what 10 to 3. I don't know. We'll talk about it.
All right. So 7:30 ish. We may go on before then. We'll see. But make sure y'all are joining us at that point in time. But we are going to talk about this janky trip. Uh, oh, this janky trip on Real Housewives of Potomac. Um,
Girl, yeah. Ain't he coming on tonight? Yep.
yeah, it's coming on tonight, so we're going to talk about that. So make sure y'all do join us on tomorrow. Like I said, subscribe to the podcast channel. Make sure y'all are liking our content, commenting. We do look at all the comments, even after the fact. If you aren't here live with us, we do look at that. But we are grateful for those who follow us. Grateful for those who are watching our videos and checking us out. Make sure that when you go to the Size Up Official Podcast, you click the notification bell. You also subscribe to the channel, like and share, so people can come to the channel. So hopefully we will see you guys soon. Don't forget tomorrow night, 7:30 is 7:30 is. Also, if you want TikTok, we do a pre-show video, probably about the 20 to 30 minutes before the show. So make sure y'all are joining us for that as well. So we'll be on there. So make sure y'all hit us up. That's all, folks.
Bye bye.
Bye.